Good morning, lovelies. How are we doing? So, I've been meaning since convention to do a video over the responsibilities of a presenter once they sponsor somebody. It's very, very important. It's something that whenever we join, we sign off on that presenter's agreement, and any time that it changes, it's just so, so important. Sponsoring is a great way to build your business along with the sales of the business. So, just one aspect of it. So, what happens when you sponsor? Yay, you sponsored somebody! Alright, that makes you a leader. Yeah, you can be a leader from day one. Day one, you can be a leader. How amazing is that? But you know what the great thing about it is? You don't have to know how it is to be a leader. You can learn to be a leader with your team and your downline. That's incredible. I've never worked with a company where it's like learn as you go, and it's amazing how incredible it is that you can learn learn about the business with your team. I had a runner whenever I joined, and we worked our business together. Ivy on our team, like, it was incredible. We'd have conversations till 2 a.m. in the morning on what we're going to do the next day and how we were doing and what we're going to try and this and that. So it's amazing. So I have some notes, so if you see me looking down, that's why, because I'm horrible, otherwise I'll ramble like I am already. So, important things to know when you sponsor. In the presenter's agreement, under section 5, it has a few points that you have to do as a sponsor. You have to be proactive on providing assistance and training to your downline. Whether it's not, showing them the training 101 in your in the back office, or adding to them the groups, or referring them to YouTube videos and anything like that. That's what it's there for. You are made to be their go-to person. So another requirement is interactions and communications. You must talk to your person. We all have things going, but if you sponsor somebody, you have a commitment to them, to making sure that you can help their business be the business that they want it to be. Even if they're a kidnapper, or if they want to go black, or whatever they want to do, you have a responsibility to them. Training goes well past your first level. So, a lot of the girls, I try to help them with whatever training I have. Just because you're not the first line in the tree going down, you still have to make sure that as it trickles down, everyone is being trained. Everyone knows about that presenter's agreement and knows about stuff going on. That's very, very important, because their success is whoever's success up top, as you work up that tree. Trainings are very important as well. Try to do some training. Something that I need to get better at myself is making those trainings, accessible to as many people. I try to do mine more so online. My team's a little bit more spread out. Some a little bit in Texas, a little bit in Oklahoma. But it's very important that you are providing trainments and documenting your trainings. I know Haley Ragsdale does Pinterest. And everywhere you go, if you ever look at it, you can see where you've pinned things. That's how she tracks where she's trained. So that's pretty awesome as well. So back to some notes on sponsoring. You cannot have people join your team and sit back and do nothing. That's not how this business works. You have to work just as hard as your team. You have to have a PRS. You have to make sure you're meeting, the criteria. If you want pink or green or blue or pink or orange or black, whatever, you have to make sure that it all matches up the way it needs to be. But you still have to put in work itself. You cannot sit back and let your team do all the work. That's just not how this business works. They created this business plan to make sure you cannot milk, in a sense, your team. You have to do some work too. Which is why we're doing the video, Responsibilities of a Unique Presenter. You have to be a leader. You have to lead by example. Make sure you have your 125 in minimum. I don't even know a month where I had 125, but you have to make sure you have that minimum. Go for the 5-3 rule. Do you know what the 5-3 rule is? It's $500 a month and sponsoring 3 presenters a month. Very, very important. Very, very duplicatable. You'll hear that a lot, but you have to be consistent. Another keyword, consistency. You cannot train them. You cannot train people and then expect them to consistently say it. You have to make sure you are walking the walk. You have to make sure that you are selling and sponsoring, and they have to be able to see that, because that's what's more empowering to everyone. So what happens when you don't want to do this? Well, give the person that wants to join to somebody else on your team. Give it to your upline, somebody who will take the time to create and develop them as a sponsor. If you just want to be a kidnapper and people choose to join you, that is okay. That is perfectly fine. This business is what you want to make it. Although you can't change presenters after you join. So it's important that you decide, because people will join you. They love this makeup. They love everything about it once they hear about it. And they're going to see your excitement. So they're going to want to know what they put in that makeup and what's good for you about it. You have to spend time on people. So when people join, the first goal is fast start. Who doesn't want another $250 in makeup? You can use that for yourself, your stock, your team, whatever. Fast start is in your first 90 days. It's calendar days, not like months of 30. So the first 90 days, $2,000 in sales, and 3, not active, but 3 people who signed up underneath you. So how easy is that? It's pretty easy. People do it in days. People do it to the last minute of 90 days. I've seen it done both times. It is possible. You just have to work at it from day 1. And if you decide on day 45 you want to work on it, it's possible too. So, duplication's very, very important with that 5-3 rule. Your team will not do all the work. Here again, you have to be serious about this business. You have to work hard at it, and you have to help your team and communicate with your team and make sure that they understand responsibilities as they grow their team as well. It's very, very important. And for those, sometimes we have not great sponsors, or people say they have a bad sponsor or whatever. Don't let that define you. If you don't feel like you're getting what you need from your sponsor, reach out to another Y sister or, a fellow person to kind of run with them. We all have our idea of what we want a great sponsor to be. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes you love it more than that sponsor loves it, and that's okay. But don't let that define who you are. There's several people who have made black status and their sponsor hasn't even hit pink or blue or green or whatever. So it is very possible. And once the tree works anyway, once you hit green, you kind of attach off. You're still there, but you kind of attach off a little bit as well. So it's very, very important because you can pass your sponsor. Make sure that you are your biggest cheerleader for your team, because that's important too. We all love to be praised. Did you know that 8 out of 10 people join this business right here because they want to be praised? And knowing from the last year and a half-ish, we all have a story. We all have something that we want to move from and move on with. So this is a great extent to that. So make sure you're taking care of your team. Make sure you're taking care of you. Personal development is very important as well. But I'm going to wrap up here. I hope you got a few great things out of it. Sorry, it's a little bit longer than I thought it would be. But have a good one. And I can't wait to see your team grow. Bye!